Peace, everybody. I know it's late and everything, but I just wanted to make a video just briefly discussing, certain energies that are going on right now and also communicate with y'all the basic energy of January 20th with this whole inauguration and this supposed threat going out from these white supremacists talking about there's going to be a riot at every single state capital and everything right now. And this is hitting home for me too because I'm in Oklahoma City with my twin flame. And Oklahoma City is the capital of Oklahoma, and we live pretty close to the capital actually. So this energy is playing out, representations of like I'm being like very close to this energy right now. This is my twin flame right here. Say hi, babe.
Hi.
Hey. But yeah, we're experiencing this energy on a very personal level right now. So it's actually like I just feel very compelled to like just speak on this right now and just kind of give you a rundown of some basic energies that are going to be happening when that date arrives actually. So that's going to be around like 12 p.m. in Washington. I got Astro Theme pulled up right now, y'all, so this is why I'm kind of doing this in real time right now. But yeah, everybody, especially, black, African American, melanated people need to really like be on guard right now because these people, even though I wouldn't consider these people a threat, they're not no way superior to anybody, especially not melanated people because first of all, we weren't here first on this planet, so once we recognize that, I'm saying, this is when people can start to appreciate each other and understand people's roles in this world instead of basing it all on hate and everything. So that's that aspect to keep in mind whenever we're talking about this riot, storm in the Capitol kind of energy, is that these people are just overall just in fear for whether it's fear that their supposed country that they supposedly built is being taken away from them because they claim they're the owners and the makers of this land and everything, which if you have a brain and you have common sense, none of that shit makes sense because there was already people here, melanated people here, way before motherfucking any Caucasian even came a foot on America. Okay, so just basically running down the energies of January 20th, 2021, the inauguration. Okay, so it's going to be on a Wednesday. So Wednesday is dealing with Mercury. Wednesday is Mercury Day. So Mercury is dealing with communication, it's dealing with logic, it's dealing with reasoning, it's dealing with facts, data, analysis, research. So if people like, if you're esoteric, if you're spiritual, if you know yourself and everything, this is the perfect time to, not get lost in emotion land. Don't get lost in your emotions right now and think more with your head. Think more like logically. Think before you speak, definitely. Think before you take an action to do anything. And then you'll see the energies. You'll, like, for example, don't go out. I would not recommend really going out on January 20th. I'm not saying have any fear in your heart, though, at the same time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time, if you follow these energies the right way, even if you just stay at home and you do yourself like a little ritual with these energies, you're going to be able to find yourself in, good standing grounds as far as like after this day, proceeding forward, because this energy is also the beginning of Aquarius season too. So once you like understand these energies and these alignments that's going on this particular day, and you keep that in mind, you'll be able to flow through the rest of this, even this year, with ease and everything, without anybody fucking with you. Especially if you're melanated, because, since, African American melanated people have been on this planet before anybody else and they're the originators, y'all have more access to this energy because this is basically, what civilization is built on is based upon the stars, civilization. Like the pyramids being built in alignment with Orion's belt. That's astrology. That's astronomy. That's a very high, sophisticated level of that too. So anything related to the stars is going to be tracing back. And since, that's the culture and that's the, the science of people who are on this earth first, when you incorporate this just automatically in your DNA, you're going to see these results play out more in your favor. And I'm white, so I'm not saying like, I'm not speaking just like for black people and everything, because I'm not the spokesman for black people. But I do recognize that since y'all are the originators and the first people on this planet, that y'all have more access to this energy just based upon in y'all's DNA. Caucasians have more of a hard time. And I'm not saying, now if you're white watching this and you have a righteous mind and everything, that doesn't mean you don't have access to this energy, but you may have to kind of try a little harder, you know what I'm saying? Because you might play some resistance. There might be some resistance that get played into your spirit when you try to do that. But if you have a positive spirit, if you mean well, if you're a righteous person, you'll be able to flow with these energies too also. So just a brief rundown. The sun is going to be in 0 degrees Aquarius, going, slightly going towards 1 degree Aquarius. So this is the beginning of Aquarius. This is the beginning of the revolutionary energy as far as the sun sign. The sun deals with individuality. It deals with your ego. It deals with your persona. It deals with the vitality that you have in order to go about and obtain your goals and everything. So people are going to be in that Aquarian energy. This is going to already entail revolutionary energy. And this is on a global level, whether people are in positive spirits or negative spirits, people are going to be in the energy of wanting to rebel against something. In this case, you have all these motherfuckers coming, acting like animals, fucking at these capitals, already playing it out with the state, not the state, the nation capital. Now, these state capitals are supposedly going to be bombarded by these protesters too. And that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy on the negative side of Aquarius, that rebellious, Uranian energy. So just be very, very aware of that. Use that to your advantage. Use this energy to, rebel in a way to where you understand that this energy is going on. So now you can come up with your own ideas, because Aquarius is fixed air. You can come up with your own ideas on how you should, go about this. And you have to trust yourself too on how you're going to go about these situations on the 20th. Now we also have the moon 29 degrees Aries. Now, this is what astrologers call the critical point of a sign, the 29 degree. It's like the last hurdle. It's also considered the shadow of that sign too. So, Aries, the moon in Aries. So, the moon is reactions, the moon is emotions, the moon is your intuition, your motherly energy, the things that you care about. People are going to be very much caring and being more in tune with their aggression, their passion, their anger, their energy of wanting to be the first in line, basically. Aries energy. People are going to be having their egos too much to their head, that they feel like they can do anything, like fucking storm a motherfucking Capitol building and everything to prove a point, and prove their racist ideologies, and try to claim that this is their land that they supposedly build and everything. Stupid shit like that. So, people are going to be, the shadow side of people's passion and anger is really going to be shown. And then people are not going to give a fuck because of this Aquarius energy. So people are going to be in their own head, literally fixed air. They're going to be in their own mind. And they're going to be...
Hey everyone, you're here.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. So, this energy is going to play out to where you're going to see a lot of people's basically reacting in a very aggressive way, and it's like the shadowy side of this energy too. So it's going to be very dark, very chaotic energy too at the same time. So be very prepared and know your own self too when going about these energies. Know that this energy is happening. Know that there's a chance that people are going to be highly emotionally unstable when it comes to dealing with their emotions in a passionate way. Shit may get too over passionate to where people are doing shit that they may feel like they'll regret later in life, or maybe not regret later in life. Mercury is going to be in Aquarius also. And then this is on a Wednesday too, so Wednesday rules the planet Mercury. So that's kind of the main highlighted theme of that day is going to be, people are going to be thinking, but they're going to be more consistent with their own way of thinking. So Like, people, if you try to persuade someone like, hey, don't storm that Capitol building, that's a bad idea. I think you're going to get arrested. I think this is racist and everything. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are not going to give a fuck. They're going to be fixated on their own thoughts, on their own way of thinking, on their own way of communicating. And they're not going to be afraid to tell yo ass that, hey, I don't give a fuck. We built this country, blah, 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 blah. We have our rights. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We want our president back. Whatever the fuck these motherfuckers, dumbasses want to say and everything. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the main theme. There's Mercury and Aquarius. Fixated air. So people are going to be hotheads, and they're going to be airheads because they're not going to want to listen to anybody but their own thoughts, basically. They're going to think that they're right, that they're the only ones that are right in this particular situation. Now, what we also got here is Venus and Capricorn. So Venus and Capricorn, you know, Venus is appreciation, value, love, charity, openness, sensitivity. People, this energy is going to be filtered through Capricorn. Now, me and my twin flame have Venus in Capricorn. And the basic archetype of that energy is that you love to, you know, be able to help anybody out. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to take the shirt off your back for somebody because you're working. You know, Capricorn is the sign of work, of structure, of stability, the planet Saturn, of boundaries, and, you know, just overall foundation. People are going to appreciate foundation around this time, but some people it may be configured for some people to where the kind of structure that they value is the structure of, oh, once again, these Caucasians think that this is their land and everything, so they appreciate their own way of thinking. Going back to Mercury and Aquarius, they appreciate their own way of thinking about how this is their land and this is their country. So, and they're willing to take the shirt off their back to prove that, you know what I'm saying, we can do whatever the fuck we want. These people are crazy. But this is real life astrology playing out in the flesh, basically. Now, over here, we got Mars conjuncting Uranus, like 6 degrees. Mars is going to be in 6 degrees. Mars is going to be in 6 degrees Taurus. And Uranus is going to be in 6 degrees Taurus. Now, what this means is that, first of all, Mars and Uranus being together, this is going to be, it's crazy too, because the sun's going to be in Aquarius and the moon's going to be in Aries. Uranus rules Aquarius and Mars rules Aries. So that's going to be, that same configuration is going to be playing out, but this time it's like literally going to be like conjoined. Like Mars and Uranus are going to be joining forces to try to passionately and aggressively try to change and rebel against, you know, the system. And in their case, the system is Democratic people, Joe Biden, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, these people think that their country is getting taken away from them, or they feel like their race is going to become extinct and everything. So these people are extremely passionate, and they're willing to take their anger to change and rebel against this way of thinking in order to ensure their own stability and their own, you know, emotional security, because this is going on in Taurus, and the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, in which the moon deals with emotional security. So that heightened sense of emotions is going to be playing out too, and then people are going to be highly sensitive to these energies too, especially the people that are participating in this rioting of the fucking capitals and everything, and having these racist ideologies. So then you're going to see that these people, you're going to see that these people are going to be very passionate about wanting to rebel and, you know, oppose against, you know, new progressive ways of thinking, because it's all in Taurus. So they're wanting things to just stay stable the way things have been going too. Shit's really crazy. You also have Jupiter and Saturn both still conjoined in the sign. That great conjunction energy is still playing out, you know, because these planets are still like within a few degree orbs from each other, like 5-degree orb away from each other, but they're still conjoined pretty closely together. So at the same time, while this is going on, we're still seeing an expansion of, you know, structure of government. Government is still being expanded upon. While all this chaotic shit is going on at the same time, we're seeing, you know, government expanding. we're seeing also the restriction and the limitation of the things that we can expand on too, with people trying to limit expansion based upon people trying to bum rush capital buildings and bum rush, the main source energy of a state, aka the capital, aka capital buildings, which is where all the structure and where all the Saturn based energy is going on in these capital buildings, the political hierarchies and the political structures and bills being passed. That all deals with Saturn energy. And it's in the sign of Aquarius too, so there's a lot of rebelliousness. There's a lot of like change going on in this area too. And Jupiter is expanding that shit. We're seeing this shit grow before our eyes. But on the same token, Saturn is restriction that expansion too, because people are throwing their own ideology, aka the way that these people are thinking. Mercury also being in Aquarius, these people are fixated on their own way of thinking, literally, because Mercury deals with thinking too, and Aquarius is fixed air, which air deals with communication and thinking also. These aspects are playing out too at the same time. And then you also have Neptune in Pisces. So Neptune's been in Pisces for a long time, but now with these new configurations from these other planets playing out too, this is playing out even more like an illusion now. Like people can't even believe that this shit is going on. This is like shit that you see in movies or in TV shows and everything like that. Like how you see those memes of The Simpsons predicting every like major event that's going on. The reason that is because these motherfuckers are in on this shit too, because these events are planned in advance basically. So it's not that these motherfuckers are psychic or have psychic abilities that can predict the future and everything. They are in on the agenda too. All these people are. So with Neptune being in Pisces, this is going to play out the energy of this is going to feel like we're in La La Land even more. So this shit is really crazy, with all this energy going on. That illusion is still going to be placed upon our eyes. Sometimes we may not even know what to do. We may still be in La La Land and just think like, oh, this shit is nothing and everything. This shit ain't serious. No, this shit is serious. This shit is really happening. The stars don't lie. And then last but not least, Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Pluto's been in Capricorn for a long time too. So there's still a lot of transformation. There's still a lot of death, put into death, a lot of regeneration when it comes to government, structure, boundaries. There's a lot of putting to death of certain governmental ways of going about things and everything. Especially when you're dealing with the whole coronavirus thing. This whole energy based around this coronavirus and this COVID-19, is putting a lot of change on the way the government is going about their shit and everything, aka having to provide money and stimulus checks and grants and loans for people who are basically, whose lives are being fucked off because of the COVID and shit like that, whose businesses are being cut off and shit. So, Pluto playing out these more later degrees of Capricorn, this is like the final hurdle of that, you know what I'm saying? Before Pluto eventually slowly moves into the sign of Aquarius, and then we see true revolutionary change on how the way that the government actually goes about their shit, because Aquarius deals with governmental energy too, but more like group think, more like people coming together and like coming to a overall agreement on how we should pass a bill or sign a bill or this, that, and the third. Since Saturn rules Aquarius too. But since it's also ruled by Uranus, it's kind of like, it's not just regular, like, ordinary governmental structures like, like the fucking, like, district courts or, like, the federal courts or some shit like that. This is more like real, like real people, like, coming together, kind of like, almost like the energy of the Constitution, even though the Constitution has racist ideologies played in between that too. That would be more like the Aquarius side of that, because it's still structured, but it's unique, it's original, it's changing, it's revolutionary. Even if it's for the wrong reasons, it's still that same energy of revolutionary energy. And yeah, man, this is the break. That's basically the breakdown of this energy of this January 20th, people bum rushing the capitals and shit like that all over America. If you are especially living in these states, well, I mean, we all live in these states and everything. What I'm saying is that if you specifically live in those capital cities and live near these Capitol buildings, know that you are by default participating in a very powerful spell and ritual right now unbeknownst to you. Because these people are playing out, like, overall, like, the percentage of people playing this shit out in all 50 states. You got to be very careful, because there's a lot, because that same energy of shock and same energy of destructiveness of people storming the Capitol on a nationwide level, now people are going, like, breaking it, like, it's almost like these people are, like, chipping away to, like, the core of shit and everything like that, and trying to throw us off and everything. People who are trying to progress and everything, people who are trying to better themselves, these motherfucking racist ass people just want to keep going, and they just want to keep, playing it on. And a lot of this shit, I've heard a lot of this shit is actually staged too. Some of that might be true, some of it may not be true. I don't personally know. But I know that the stars don't lie, and I know that we still have to not get washed up by this energy too at the same time. Which is why I'm presenting the perspectives of this energy at the same time. And it's up to you to play these energies out in a positive way so that you can ride the wave and frequency of these current events that are going on. Because these people are going to, by default, especially since they don't know themselves, they don't study astrology, they don't study metaphysics, so they're not going to understand this energy anyway, and then they're going to get washed up by, like, the moon being in Aries. People are going to be super aggressive, people are going to be super angry, and then it's on the last degree, so it's like that final burst of anger that people are just going to, like, get lost in and just covered with a veil of red, basically. And then the sun being in Aquarius, especially the beginning stages of Aquarius, it's going to more so be like people are just not going to give a shit, and people are going to rebel in a very hardcore way because it's still on that cusp of Capricorn. But anyway, that's enough about that. I want y'all to be safe. I know this is a late video, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on the energy of January 20th because it's going to be a very significant day. All right, y'all stay safe, peace, and protect yourself at all times. Peace.